So for tonight's intention, if you want to, I've got these angel cards in this bowl, and I thought I would just we'd all take a moment for breathing, and then I'll just draw a card and see what it says. And if that resonates with you and you want that to be your intention for tonight's practice, you may certainly tap into that. And if something else is really feeling like it needs to be addressed that is different than this, that is certainly okay. So if you have your relaxed clothes on, lighting low, ocean music perhaps. And as you find that aligned spine in your seated position, I always like to start with recognizing what is currently in place in your mind and your heart. What experiences and sensations are immediately being recognized and labeled. And whatever it is, you don't have to push it away or encourage it to linger. But you can move on to whatever comes up next. And already recognizing that whatever was in the forefront of your mind a couple of moments ago is already gone, and something else has taken its place. Just like clouds coming from wherever and moving to forever, wherever, across the heavens, skies, which allows you to start bringing your awareness increasingly to your breath. And just find that rate and rhythm that provides calmness. Send some of that calmness to your heart. And as you continue to stay aware of your breath, I'm going to go ahead and reach inside this bowl and choose the card. The card I chose that came here, let me just erase that, is healing. So you can take a moment to think about what that may mean to you, if it's that you need healing, someone you know needs healing. Whatever that word means for you, just sit with it for a moment and savor it. And continue to come back to that or the intention that you chose throughout the practice. I'm going to stay with healing and recognize that this is a time to evoke healing as we allow our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest, repair side of our system to do what it needs to do and take the time that it deserves. So from this seated position, you can open your eyes, and this is where you could use your blocks. I'm going to keep that out, separate from the others. So you could use a chair even, or blocks to do a modified malasana. I don't know why this keeps coming up on my screen, but I want it to get rid of it. Bear with me, folks. I'm sorry. Maybe it'll leave me alone. So malasana may be too much on some people's knees or ankles. It does require some length through the calves. So blocks, one block or no blocks. If you're with no blocks, it's going to be a deeper knee bend. And the distance of your feet depends on you. So they might be wide with the toes angled out a bit, but make sure your kneecaps, as with all poses, are directed over your second toe, or they could be outer edges more parallel. You can bring the elbows to the inside of your knees and the hands to heart center, or you can keep the fingertips on the ground for a little more support. Just breathe into wherever you feel this pose. And you can kind of make it a little more dynamic if you want to shift side to side, rock a little bit, wiggle the toes a little bit more. Maybe even round the back, drop the head forward. Come back up with the head. And then with one hand down on the floor, I'm starting with the left, just to keep that pressing to the inner knee. And as you inhale, just reach up, a little bit of a twist. Breathe into the length of your right arm. As you exhale, bring that hand down. And inhale, reach up with the left, pressing into the inner right thigh and knee. And exhale, come down. And we're just going to place the hands on the floor. You may want to wiggle the feet a little bit wider, press into the hands, and just come into a gentle forward fold. You can spin the heels out so that they are in line with one another. I'm going to turn around. And as you soften the knees, you can cross the elbows and just release through the spine, the neck, the face. Again, a little bit of movement, whatever feels organic and needed by your body. You can release the hands down, maybe circle out the wrists. A big part of the Wednesday night class is identifying and becoming aware of how the pose will best suit your needs for a good night's sleep. So from that forward fold, bend the knees enough to place the hands down on the mat, shoulder width apart, and start to walk the feet back. Move into a modified downward dog. So I may want to keep the knees bent and the heels off the mat, shake out the head, maybe walk it out. Again, exploring movement or stillness in your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. If you've been sitting all day or standing, it's a great opportunity to bring some fresh blood, some healing and love into the neck, the head, the brain, all the muscles of your face. And some energy flow down the spine to the tippy top at the head. And then lower your knees to the mat. Come to your forearms and walk the knees back just a bit. And then just allow your chest to soften towards the thighs, the forehead toward the mat. You may enjoy bringing the palms together and the thumbs towards the base of your skull. And you can experiment with walking the elbows farther away from the knees as you draw the belly in and just explore this stretch. When you need a deeper stretch, you could use those blocks under the elbows instead. And stay here for a few rounds of breath. And then lift the head a bit, bring the hands back down to the mat, and come back to hands and knees position. Move through the spine in any way you want to with your breath, whether it be cat-cow or side to side. Maybe make circles. Untuck the toes if they've been tucked under, and you can go back and forth a couple of times. And then from that hands and knees position, tuck the toes under. And this, by the way, may be too much for your toes. So I'm going to move the blocks a little bit more. This is, again, where you could use a block, or maybe just stay in your cat-cow. You can kind of follow along as it works. Keeping the outer ankles lifted, walking the hands in. Press through the hands to lift the knees off the mat. And you're going to sit up on your toes for a moment. And just see how that feels. If you can tolerate that and could go a little deeper, bring the knees back to the mat and then sit up tall on your heels. So my right big toe doesn't love this, but I'm gonna just play with the weight bearing and the length of time I hold it. I can always come back and bring my knees up. But wherever you find yourself, see if you can just sink into the experience for a few rounds of breath. Make sure your toes are spread out and all tucked. Maybe one more full breath. If you're not already there, you can come back to hands and knees, and then maybe untuck the toes and maybe just tap the tops of your feet into the mat a little bit. We're going to move into pigeon pose. So if you instead need to come into figure 4 on your back or the seated version, feel free to do that. From hands and knees, you could just lift the knees a little bit. You don't necessarily need to go into a full downward facing dog. We'll start with the right leg. So bring the knee in, rotate the knee out to the right and make sure that ankle is bent. And then start to slide your left leg back. Remember to take your time as you move into the pose, stopping along the way to not only check in with your alignment, but check in with how the body feels and whether it needs to go deeper or not tonight. And with your breath, you'll gradually make it to your full expression. So as we bring our awareness back to that idea of healing, as I've mentioned, hips can be an emotional vault. And let this be an opportunity to explore what's inside that vault, what's inside that emotional vault. Right side tends to be male-related things or concepts. So things that come up may be related to those more masculine type energies. And then you can choose. You can let your mind and heart stay with what comes up. Or just tuck it away for a little longer until you're ready to come back to it. Just give yourself the freedom to do either, not judging yourself for going deeper into it or from staying away from it. Just be present. And maybe with the hips is where you need to remain. But if you feel like those thighs need a little bit more, you can walk the hands in. If you're on your back, you could move into a bridge pose or in seat at a tabletop. From pigeon for that quad stretch, hip flexor stretch, you could bend that left knee and reach back for the top of your foot. Just bring it in as needed. Wherever you are for one more full round of breath. And then as you exhale, you can release that side. We're going to set up for the other side. So if you're in pigeon pose like me, just tuck your left toes under, lift up that, and come back to either downward dog or just a hands and knees off the mat. And start moving into the other side in whatever variation you're doing. Again, staying just as mindful to move with your breath, keeping the alignment of the pose. Experience the full effects as you move slowly into your full expression. Check in with your mind. And if it's wandered beyond the mat, just encourage it to come back and experience the full expression of this pose, the emotions and sensations that arise. Which may or may not be attached to feminine type energies. If you're at kind of a good spot in that chapter, you can stay right where you are. But if you want to move into the quadricep on your right, you can walk the hands up. And then reach back as you bend the right knee and find the top of that foot or ankle. And breathe generously into the areas where you feel the sensation. Do you feel coolness or heat? Do you feel like you want to push away or go deeper? And gently release. And we're going to come to a seated position. So if you are in pigeon like me, you can just roll over to that left hip and bring the right leg around. You're going to have the legs out in front, knees bent, hands behind you. I'm going to turn to face you. It's maybe easier to see what's happening. So hands are behind me. And all I'm going to do is, with my feet hip width apart, is allow both knees to roll over to the left. And my right hip, it's okay if it comes up off the ground. And once you're there, you're going to just allow your neck back and forth, and then stay over left ear towards the left shoulder. And breathe. You can always support the knees with blankets. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. We'll come back to that side in a moment, but go ahead and come back to neutral. And then both knees to the right. Go side to side a couple of times. And then right ear towards the right shoulder. As you inhale, head to neutral, knees up to neutral one more time, both knees to the left. Right ear towards the right shoulder. And then knees and head to neutral, and one more time to the right. And ear to the left. And knees and head back up to neutral. You can bring the legs to any comfortable seated position. Wiggle around to find those sit bones. And just do a gentle twist over to the left. So right hand outside the left knee, left hand behind you. Lengthen on your inhale. Exhale as you twist. Keeping the shoulders down and heart open. Just tune into the healing you're allowing for the organs of digestion and assimilation. Squeezing out the old blood that surrounds the kidneys and the liver. Inhale as you come back to center, and you can exhale, twisting to the other side. Squeezing out old fluids, the discs between your vertebrae, and the muscles that support your torso. And then inhale, come back to center. Take the hands up on an inhale. And as you exhale, just bring the fingertips to the tops of your shoulders. And as you inhale, stay here. As you exhale, bring the elbows towards each other and drop the forehead towards your chest. You can round the upper back a bit. Inhale, open the shoulders, open the elbows rather. Squeeze the shoulders back, maybe a slight gaze up. And exhale, elbows towards each other. Forehead drops, third eye drops towards the elbows. Inhale again, opening, lifting, squeezing the shoulder blades. And last time, exhaling forward. Inhale, come back to neutral. And we'll do a couple of shoulder circles, but we're this time going to take the fingertips kind of touching behind the head. Thumbs are at my neck. So you can slightly interlace your fingers and maybe even just do a little massage with your thumbs at the base of your skull and the side of your neck. then bring fingertips back to the shoulders and drop the elbows down. I'm going to make a few circles going backwards. So inhale, bring the elbows forward and up towards the ceiling. Pause there for a moment. And exhale, bring them back and around and down. Inhale, bring them close together, up and elbows toward the sky. Exhale all the way back and around. And one more time, elbows forward, up, pause at the top for a moment. And then exhale, release them all the way back and down. Hands can come to your lap or knees. And shoulders only. Inhale, squeezing them up. Exhale, roll them back and down. One more time, squeeze up. And exhale, roll back and down. Take the right arm out to the side and just bring it across the body. You can bend the elbow or not, and place your right hand, so we're not full eagle arm pose, though you could, and just bring that elbow across the left. So if you're trying to bring the right elbow towards the top of your left shoulder. Try to keep your spine lifting and long, crown of the head reaching to the sky. And then release that back down. Just take a cross with the left arm, bending at the elbow. Right hand can come to the tricep and pulling it gently across. Noticing any difference on the side. And then releasing that down. And back to the head, we're going to just drop the head forward. Then roll it over so the right ear is closer to the right shoulder. Drop it back down and past center and rolling over left ear towards left shoulder. You're going to do that on your own a few rounds. Just go as slowly as you need to and feel free to stop along the way. If you find that spot that needs a little extra healing. Besides the obvious that neck tension can be from the way in which we hold our head. If you're looking, even if you're looking straight ahead, but especially if you're looking down, just keeping the head and neck static for long periods of time means you're kind of creating stuck energy, tightness and tension. So we need movement. Okay, you can finish up. Feel like you're even, then you can bring the head back to center and back up. And then you're gonna just take your hands, cross the fingers, palms together, and just lightly tap across the chest, left to right, then right to left. This kind of just loosens up the lymph system, gets rid of toxins and waste that may be stuck and stored there. And then after a few times each side, just place one hand on top of the other, top of your chest, close your eyes, and tune in. And then with eyes open, hands back down, we're gonna make our way down onto our back, moving towards Shavasana, so make sure you have any props that you'd like ready and nearby. So carefully and mindfully, make your way all the way down to your back. Once you're there, straighten the legs, reach the arms behind you, and stretch from fingers to toes. Bring the arms back by your side with the palms towards the sky. And we're just going to do a gentle and quick bridge to open up the front body once more. So lengthen the low back, feet hip width apart. And begin to draw the belly down and in, to tilt the pelvis back and slowly lift the hips up. Just squeeze there at the top. We'll keep the hands where they are this time. And then exhale back down. We're going to do it one more time and add the arms. So belly draws down, pelvis tilts back. Start to lift the hips and bring the arms up and over on your inhale. And exhale, slowly bring the back and the arms back down. Kind of like we did in a seated position. You can allow the knees to just move the hands out of the way and just go side to side. This time we're just going to keep it more dynamic, just back and forth like windshield wipers. Massaging the glutes and the sacrum. And then come back to center. Hug both knees into your chest and the forehead towards your knees. Bring the head back down. Open the knees a bit, soles of the feet to the sky, and find your happy baby. Movement or stillness, whatever you need. Because you want to be a happy baby. Excuse me. And explore with one leg straight at a time. And then bring the knees back together and the feet down. And just tune in for a moment to any final pose that your body needs before Shavasana. And if you feel complete, you can move directly into Shavasana. If you're doing a pose, stay there for about 5 breaths. And then meet us in Shavasana. Once you found your Shavasana, take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through the mouth. For you to make a little sound one more time. You'll inhale through the nose. As you exhale through the mouth, let go of any remaining tension. Bring your awareness to your intention, or if you stayed with healing, tap back into that energy and what it means to you, how that word is appropriate for you tonight. And now bring your awareness to your breath, making sure that it's just following a natural rhythm. If later, when you are going to sleep, have trouble sleeping, you can try this technique of inhaling to whatever count is natural for you, and then exhaling to half that number. So if you inhale to a count of 8, you would exhale to a count of 4. And that may help evoke sleep. So with that calm breath and that energy of healing swirling in and around your heart, your mind, bring your awareness all the way down to your left pinky toe. Wrap it with health and healing. Bring your awareness to your 4th toe on the left side. Be attentive to the third toe on your left foot. And now focus on your second toe of your left foot. And then focus on the big toe of your left foot. Bring your awareness and healing energy to the sole of your foot, from the heel to the toes. Bring your awareness to the top of your left foot. Bring your awareness to the lower left leg below the knee. Bring your awareness to the left knee. And now bring your awareness to the left thigh and hip. So the intention of healing now is you bring your awareness to the entire left leg and foot and toes. And now bring your awareness to the right side and the right pinky toe. Acknowledge and become aware of the fourth toe on the right foot. Bring your awareness to the third toe on the right foot. And focus now on the second toe of your right foot. And bring your awareness now to the big toe on your right foot. Feel that healing energy across the sole of your right foot from the heel to the toes. And bring your awareness to the top of your right foot. Now move your awareness to the lower right leg below the knee. And softly bring your focus to the right knee. Shift your awareness to the right thigh and right hip. And allow your awareness now to send the healing energy up and down the entire right leg and foot and toes. Bring your awareness to your pelvis, your glutes. And bring your awareness to your stomach, your low back. Shift your focus to the chest, the heart, the rib cage, the upper back. Move your awareness and attention to the pinky finger on your left hand. Now feel and notice the fourth finger on your left hand. Bring your attention to the third finger on your right hand. Shift your awareness to the second finger, your index finger on your right hand. And bring your awareness to the thumb on your right hand. Shift your focus to the palm of your right hand. And move it around to the back of your right hand. Bring your awareness to the left forearm. Now shift your focus to the left elbow. And softly move your focus up to the upper arm of your left arm and your left shoulder. Allow your awareness to travel over to the right side and the right pinky of your right hand. And then notice the fourth finger of your right hand. Shift your awareness to the third finger of your right hand. Notice the index finger of your right hand. And bring your awareness to the right thumb. Bring your awareness to the palm of your right hand. Now move your focus to the back of your right hand. Shift that healing energy and focus to the forearm of your right side. And now focus on your right elbow. Bring your awareness to the right upper arm and shoulder. And bring your awareness to the collarbones. Bring your awareness to your throat and your neck. Bring your awareness to your scalp and your hair. Softly shift your focus to the forehead and the temples. Move your awareness and that healing energy to your eyelids, your eyeballs. Shift your awareness to your nose and the air coming in and out of your nostrils. Bring your awareness to your cheeks and your jaw. Notice your chin. Softly shift your focus to your lips, your teeth, your tongue. Bring your awareness to your mind. And now bring your awareness to the entire body as you breathe in healing energy and soak it up into every cell. Healing. Tapping into healing. You can continue right where you are, but if you need to move out of this place of Shavasana, bring the awareness back to fingers and toes now with a little movement. Begin moving ankles and wrists, head side to side. And bending the knees to walk the feet in. Stretch the arms overhead if you'd like, before then rolling over onto one side and slowly pressing back to your seated position. Notice any difference in how you feel, how you're breathing, and where your attention is now compared to the beginning of class. And let the calmness open the door to a restful night of deep sleep. If you'd like to, bring palms together at heart center. Thanks for being here. Namaste.